Hi, Skatz here. Hello! It's my birthday. It's my birthday too. No, it's not. And it's an honour for you to meet me. Oh, for goodness sake. I can see the next 6 months is going to be delightful. That's me, the angel of delights. I'll introduce him in a minute. In the meantime, come with me through the curtain of blurred colons into a new era. Welcome to the Bagtastic Video Diary number 51. Do you know what? I think I'm going to start calling it a podcast. Welcome to podcast number 51. Thanks, Bert. This is Bert the Bag, everyone. Hello. Call me Bertolini. Why? It's my name. No, it's Bert. I asked the watchers to name my stoma bag and you were given the name Bert. And by the way, you're not Italian. I'm from Milano. You're from the hospital and you're literally full of shit. Hey, that's a stain on my character. Well, you're going to have to get used to stains. My small intestine will be delivering them into you on a regular basis. It's a diabolical liberty. You sound just like Freddy. He is my reason for being here. Oh, your raison d'etre. Hey, stop it with the Frenchy accent. You cannot do accents.
You tell him, Bertie.
What? I say nothing. Oh, I just thought I heard... No, oh, never mind. Let's get on with the podcast. It's my birthday. That's right. Did you like my present? What present? I got you a Lamborghini. It's for your midlife crisis and to make your lifestyle lavish like mine. You are so full of shit. Hey, look, stop interrupting me. I'm supposed to be doing a podcast and telling everyone how I'm getting on after my operation and about the exciting things coming up after my Christmas break. And it's my 60th birthday and I'm feeling a bit weird about it. I'm only 25, but I look at 22. Enough. This is the first time I've actually felt my age, to be honest. Since I became an adult, I thought that 25 was the age I wanted to be. And when I got there, I stuck with it and felt 25 for years and years. And I've always looked younger than I am, so in my head I stayed younger. Until this year when the mighty dam of cancer burst and flooded me with a torrent of tiredness. That's very poetic. I won medals for my poetry, you know. However, this is something I'm fighting and I aim to get younger again as I become stronger. Yes, possibly stronger than I've been for a while because Freddy could have been growing inside me for up to 10 years.
I was more mature than you'll ever be.
So, apart from my wasted, punished body making me feel weirdly old, I'm questioning what 60 years old actually means today. When I was a kid, 60 was ancient. It was the age that half of the population retired. And in those days, retirement meant resting or gardening or crown green bowling or something like that. Lots of people just started to fade away after they stopped working. I mean, there were some who went travelling and walking and doing the things they'd always wanted to and visiting exciting places. But the way that television portrayed retirement was like it's the beginning of the end. Pipes and slippers, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, pottering about and watching your friends start dying all around you until you're the only one left and you may as well move into an old people's home. Did that make you the lucky ones for surviving? I'm the lucky one. I got a style and a beauty. So, what do you think, lads? How do you feel about 60? What does it mean to you, everyone? People are living longer these days. 60 could mean you've got another 20 years of relatively healthy time left if you're lucky. Maybe longer if science solves more of the problems of aging and you can access early cures for some of the biggest killer conditions like Alzheimer's, diabetes, heart disease and cancer. Ultimately, the way I see it, and the clue is in the title of these podcasts, don't give up on life. Don't die before you die. Find the life in everything. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn from what it had to teach and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation, unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swathe and shave close, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms. So keep on sucking that marrow, suckers, and join me on my New Year's quest to dig and delve into the soul of this brief existence. We're still alive, and we can subscribe to that idea or lie down and give up. I know what I'll be doing. I like lying down, especially with my beautiful ladies. I obviously can't smell you like I can. Anyway, enough of your fakery, my bag friend. I'm talking about the exciting things I'm going to be doing in 2025. And you're going to be there for the first half of it. I'm never going to leave you. Oh, yes, you bloody are. But in the meantime, there's going to be a lot of moving about, getting around, lots of chatting to funny people and visiting the wonders that Spain has to offer. Lots of living. I'm going to get away from the office and the blurred colons and take you all on a journey. And we'll see what we can do. Keep your face always towards the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you, as the great Walt Whitman said. That's Walt Whitman, not Bert Whitman. Oh yes, and he said this too. To me, every hour of the day and night is an unspeakably perfect miracle. And I want you to challenge me, my friends. Throw some ideas into the comments. What do you want to see? Whatever happens, we're going to check out some miracles along the way. I'm the miracle! Well, not exactly, but you do stop the shit hitting the fan. Talking of you, I should tell everyone that after last week's podcast about the frantic and upsetting stoma bag search, Liz had to drive all the way to Malaga to sort it out. But it was sorted out. She went to the ward I'd been on at the hospital and they were very sympathetic. Told her the kind of bag I have is only available in Malaga and gave her a good supply of them. So that was sorted, much to her relief and mine too. Liz's cold was terrible by then, and bless her, she was at a very low ebb and in a dark place. So we've been looking after each other in our different ways. My health is a game of two halves at the moment. The healing process seems to be going well. I've had the staples removed from my wounds, which wasn't all that painful. What was a bit painful was when the local nurse had to remove my whole stoma bag and base to get to 4 of the staples. But she didn't have any of the glue remover spray, and I hadn't thought to bring any. So it was like tearing a layer of skin off very, very slowly. Bloody awful. I won't forget the spray again in a hurry. Oh no. There's still a patch of very raw skin under the base there. Hopefully the stoma nurse will help with that on Thursday. I'm going to tell you in a minute what happened there when I move a little bit further forward in time. Yes, I'm going to be doing that more with the podcasts, making it a bit by bit as we go along. So I'll just keep popping up in different locations. There you go. Liz isn't looking forward to seeing the stoma nurse because she's angry at her for not putting the bags and bases on my medical card as a prescription in the first place, causing that traumatic 24 hours of hassle, so she might just leave it to me and Chris to go into the appointment. I'll be there! I'll drive the Lamborghini! Bert, you're a bag. You can't drive. You have no faith in me! Not after all the times you leaked in the hospital, no. But let's move on, shall we? What am I doing for my birthday and Christmas? Well, they're both going to be quiet ones because I'm still not strong and can't get around much without needing a nap. Which reminds me, what makes me look more like 60 than anything else is I'm wearing the waistband of my trousers really, really high, like a grandad at the moment. All because I'm keeping the tight elastic away from my stoma and away from some of the operation wounds, which, although they're healing nicely, they're still a bit raw. Like the ladies when I make a love to them. Bert, that's disgusting. Funny, but disgusting. Now, what else do I want to say before I head off to see the stoma nurse? Well, definitely Merry Christmas to all of my friends. And I'm even going to say Merry Christmas to the haters who haven't uttered a single word of support or made any kind of donation of time or money throughout the past year, but who feel it's okay to badmouth me and Liz for accepting it from others. We know who our friends are and they know where our hearts live. In this season of goodwill to all, I wish you all a happy and joyful Christmas and a whole year of peace and love. I'd also like to announce the end of the old GoFundMe campaign and the beginning of a new one. Oh yes, so remember, don't use the old QR code anymore. That's all over the hundreds of videos I've made in 2024. Ignore that code now. It's time for a new approach. There'll be a new code up on screen during this show. I don't know whether it's all the way through or whether I'll just put it up there now. That this time the campaign is in support of both Still Alive and YouTooSpain, both of those channels, because what I do on those channels is, I believe, worthy of your support. I've helped thousands of you with expert information, groovy entertainment and much more. So the new QR code will point you to the new page where you can donate either a single amount, or you can probably, I think, make a regular monthly donation, and you'll be helping me to help you. Go and have a look at the page. It's all about the fun we're all going to have in 2025. It's all about me! Not really, Bert, you're just a hanger-on. Literally. So, what happened when I went to visit the stoma nurse? Let's leap forward a day or two. So here I am at the exit to the car park, which is so very handy for Carlos Haya Hospital in Malaga. It's right across from the entrance to Building A, where I had my radiotherapy and some of the consultations. And Building B, over to the left past the green windows that you'll see in a minute, is where the stoma nurse has her office, on the same floor where I was on the ward recovering last week. So this all felt very familiar, lots of deja vu going on. I'd actually arranged to meet Chris by the car park exit, and I got there first, but somehow he slipped right past me and was already in the hospital somehow. I decided that because I hadn't had much exercise for a while, that I'd take the stairs. The stoma nurse is on the 6th floor, so that's 12 flights of stairs. I regretted it about halfway up, but I carried on. I actually came down the stairs on the way out too, so I was a bit knackered at the end of all of this. Anyway, after a very long wait to see the nurse, sitting on the hard plastic chairs that I love so much, and with Chris getting a bit stressed because he had a business call waiting an hour after the appointment was supposed to be, we were ushered in and once again faced a continuous assault of words. She never stopped talking. Chris had to stop her after a couple of minutes because she wasn't giving him time to translate, and I wasn't helping much because I was asking him questions about what she was saying. She's a nightmare for a translator. The main point I wanted to get across was to make sure I had the correct prescription for the stoma bags with the correct codes so that the pharmacy could order them in. Liz had been told that the bags I had were only available in Malaga, but the nurse said, no, they're the most common and universally available in all Spanish pharmacias. The problem had evidently been that the local nurse to me had put in the wrong codes for the bags and the bases, which are called placas, by the way. I should use the correct name for them. It just means a plaque, like a sign on a wall. Anyway, after having a look at my bag and the placa and the actual stoma, that's the red thing sticking out of my belly like a little sunburned alien that Chris had to run away behind a screen to avoid looking at. He's very squeamish. The nurse changed the bag and the placa, took out the stitches from the stoma and gave it a good clean. Then she made me a guide placa with a smaller hole than I'd been cutting before. Now, every stoma is a slightly different size. Do you know what? You're going to learn quite a lot about stomas over the next 6 months. I'll probably chat about them quite a lot. Anyway, you have to make sure that the backing of the placa has the exact size of hole cut out to fit right up to the stoma, right to the edges of it. That, I think, is to avoid your skin getting irritated. You've got to be accurate. So after that, we all sat by her computer as she found out all of the codes from the special book from the people who make the stoma bags and the placas. She basically started from scratch. She wiped everything off my medical card and she input all of the correct information one at a time onto my medical card so I could get the bags, the placas, the sticky semicircular patches that make sure the edge of the placas are stuck properly. It's kind of an extra thing which will stop the leaking, and the elasticated belt that holds the placas tight onto my skin. Now I can get 30 bags, 10 placas, 2 belts and 20 patches on the monthly prescription that lasts until sometime in May. 30 bags because I can change them every day, 10 placas because I change them every 3 days, 2 belts because I change them twice a month, and 20 patches because there's 2 around each placa, and I'll put them on every 3 days when I change the placa. And so there's enough of those monthly prescriptions to last until sometime in May, which I guess is when they anticipate me having the reversal of the stoma, when I can go back to shitting out of my arse instead of my belly. That'll be a relief. She also made an appointment to see her again after I have my consult with the surgeon on January the 20th, just to check everything is going all right. I should find out in that surgeon's consult what the lab tests say about my operation. Hopefully no sign of any stray cancer cells anywhere. And also whether any of my lymph nodes were removed or affected, because that could be very important. That if I have loads of lymph nodes taken out, some of the results of that could be that my arm could swell up because the lymph something isn't draining, or leg or 2 legs could swell up. That's some of the things that have happened to people. By the way, if any of this is familiar to you, if you're watching because of you're suffering from the same condition or you're dealing with a stoma bag, then do talk to me in the comments and tell me all about it, where this is part of the idea of what I'm doing here, is to get the information out there and to get people talking about it, so that people who are trying to avoid cancer, and I suggest if there's anything that suggests you might have cancer, any symptoms at all, go and see your doctor straight away. Get the tests. Don't wait and say, oh, it might be this, it might be something else, it might be anything. Get the tests, because then you'll find out for certain, and you could save your life. So my journey isn't totally over yet, but hopefully it'll all go swimmingly from now on. Speaking of my journey, my lovely friends, you must watch the podcast on Chris's Upsticks YouTube channel. He interviewed me live with no kind of script at my end, and that's very unusual for me. So you get much more of the real me chatting away properly, some of which I've done on this podcast. I do have a script in front of me that I follow quite a lot, but this bit that I'm saying now is just me rambling on a little bit, and so that is me on this podcast, all real and revealing. I think it went quite well. We talked for a good long while, so it's something you can make yourself a cup of coffee and sit down in front of it and enjoy, because we go through kind of the whole process, which is, as I say, quite revealing. And maybe I reveal some things that I've never said before, even on these podcasts, or video diaries, as I've called them up to now. Here's the thumbnail on screen now. This is what's showing on YouTube if you access it now. Obviously, you can't watch the video because it's not due to drop until 8 days' time on December the 28th. It says the time on there as well. I've also put a link to this in the video description below as well. Don't miss it, and be sure to subscribe to Chris's channel as well. He deserves your support, and he's releasing loads of great little videos as well as he experiments with his 360-degree camera. It's well worth the watch. And he does loads of videos all about residency and visas and all kinds of things which are so very informative and true and factual. He knows all the facts because he is right there on the front line of immigration. La! On that note, that's all for this week. I'll be back in the new year. I think January the 3rd is the first Friday, and I'll tell you all about how I'm getting on, and maybe try a little walkabout for the first time. Ooh, exciting. And I will be showing you my extraordinary collection of Grammy Awards for my singing. Oh, Bert, you're so full of shit. Keep your fingers and toes crossed, you lovely people. And until next time, raise your drinking receptacles with me. The toast, as usual, is still alive, still beautiful. Let's all do the still alive dance. Oh, sole mio.
Shut it!